All right, peace and love, family. If you don't mind, can you introduce yourself to the people? Let everybody know your name, where you from, and what you go by.
Man, government name, Carlos David Davis Sr. Uh, born and raised north side of Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, everybody, if you don't know, go by Mr. Losboi. Originally was Losboi, but I put the Mr. on it when I turned 40. So, some grown man type shit.
Can you tell us what it was like growing up in Tulsa? Can you paint a picture of your neighborhood and the community?
Man, if you know, I grew up right next to the hood store. You know what I'm saying? Before even Dave bought the motherfucker, used to be a mechanic shop. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
didn't know
just growing up out there, yeah, hopping the fence, going to school. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit, man. Basically, growing up out in North Tulsa, I pretty much grew up all over, but mainly was stationary out in North Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? The real North Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? So it was bittersweet. You know, where I came from, I ain't even supposed to be here right now. You know what I'm saying? Statistic wise, just the drama and all the shit that was going down, playing in the backyard, bullets flying and shit, all that type of shit. It was just the norm, So, but overall, man, it's a good city to grow up in. I mean, I reside right now in Muskogee, Oklahoma, which is my second home. You know
you.
what I'm saying? This is where my wifey from. She done came down here and kidnapped a nigga, but living down here is cool, but I'll never forget my hometown. I was one of the ones like, man, I ain't never leaving Tulsa. I ain't never leaving Tulsa, but I had to, what I'm saying, to better myself. And ever since I've been down here, it's just been on the up and up for me. You know what I'm saying? So better jobs, better opportunity for the kids with the school, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, things like that. So but just growing up in the town, man, is however you approach it. You know what I'm saying? When I lost my BM at 17, after having our son in 2 months, kind of fucked my head up. So I had to wise up. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the bad kids, always fighting and all that shit like that. And where I grew up, it was on 46 and Main, right there on the cul-de-sac. Only two
Yeah.
ways to get in that neighborhood. And then you had the other neighborhood on the other side, where you had your neighborhood cribs, and then you had your Hoovers and shit like that. But we was all linked in because we went to Sam Houston. But niggas get older, and things start turning different. Niggas ain't fighting no more. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I just had to wise up and look and see shit differently, choose my battles right, so that way I can make it here where I'm at now.
Did you grow up with both your parents or a single parent household?
And shit, I didn't get a stable father figure till I was like about 10. You know what I'm saying? But the T lady, she held it down. Really didn't I mean, well, I knew we was in poverty, but I didn't really understand it because lights, water, gas was always on. You know what I'm saying? The only time you only went to bed with an empty belly
Yeah.
is if you didn't eat what she cooked that night.
Yeah.
These new kids, they don't understand that. I be telling my kids all the time, like, I want to last back in our day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, around 10, you know what I'm saying, that's when she, met that one, got married to him. He showed me a lot, right here, got his ashes in the time glass. He just recently passed beginning of this year, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. But he taught me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Fishing, fixing cars, and women, and life. I never forget one time I was on the phone with my little middle school loves. You know what I'm saying? I told her I loved her. He heard me. He was like, he pulled me outside. He was like, what you mean you love her? Is that what y'all saying now? I was like, yeah. He was like, you think that's going to be the one you're going to be with to the end? Just had me thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? Choose your words wisely. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a lot. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't perfect. Trust me. He wasn't perfect at all. But he came in at the right time. You know what I'm saying? The T lady, she held it down. She had me at 13. We pretty much grew up together. Shit, I ain't even supposed to be fucking be here right now. You know what I'm saying? But she held it down. She's still doing her thing. Got the business out there off of 40, what's that, 46 and, no, 36 in Hartford.
Yeah.
Daycare. I don't know if you ever rode past it. It's right across from the little pink building, gate
Yeah.
and security, all that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like she's been in the community helping out with daycare for, man, for some time now. It's pushing like on 3 decades. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. My mom's stayed on train 9, so I know right where I know where they say. Yeah.
So basically, I mean, And then I didn't meet my real pops. That's why I called him until I was 14. You know what I'm saying? So we still stay connected. He on the yard right now for some bullshit, but I'm the only one that he can really reach out to and a couple more people because of the shit that he did. But we still stay connected though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my step pops, he showed me a lot. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the ones that helped me wise up a little bit.
Now, this wasn't in my questions, but I've heard you say that you weren't supposed to be here twice. Is that something that you want to talk about, or we can skip it?
Nah, I ain't never not I'm not trying to say on some gangster shit. I'm just saying oh, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
where I grew up,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
came from. Like I said, like literally in the backyard, shooting up, playing 33 with the brother, you know, with the step pops, bullets flying and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember one bullet even went through. Luckily, back then, the house we was in had the double glass windows.
Mm-hmm.
One of them had penetrated the first window of my bedroom with my sister in the bedroom, but it landed. It didn't hit the second
Yeah.
one. So that's what, like I'm saying, like riding through the neighborhood and you see a full of car niggas about to go shoot up Tasty Freeze,
Yeah.
like shit like that. Like you could have been a statistic
Yeah.
in the
'Cause
moment.
we grew up in that war era. I mean, it's still a war going on, but you know what I'm saying. As far as like we the same age, you know what I mean. So we went to the same school, but we grew up in that era.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When it popped off.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Like real life shit. I mean, I
Yeah.
dibbled and dabbed in the street life and shit like that, but it only took me one time to learn from that lesson when either I got caught up or I had to face the consequences. And it's like, I'm not about to keep doing this forever, man. I got a kid, you know what I'm saying? I'm 17, you know what I'm saying? So just shoot the shit differently, you know, became wise and shit like that. No, that's all it was.
So take us back to, you know what I'm saying, when did you first start getting into music, and like was that something you always wanted to do, or did it come like later as you got older?
Pretty much later when I got older. Uh T Lady, her brother, he used to be doing music a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I never forget that day when he came over with a CD. It was called Born Dying. And just hearing how he just spitting on there, and he's a Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he got like split personalities. Like he can change up his tune and shit like that. So it just kind of like running through me. I really didn't get into it until I was what about 24. Just
Mm-hmm.
like really fucking with it. I don't know if you remember said, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, said Scribbling, my guy said Deezy.
Yeah. That's
He the
yeah.
first one that when we really started dipping and dabbing into it, you know what I'm saying, New Unit Money Entertainment. You know, I was part of that when we came up with that name. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting
Okay.
right there. You know, so it was about 2010 when I just really jumped into it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always had a love for music, but I always listened to the West Coast growing up. You know, Tupac,
Mm-hmm.
E40, the Two Shorts, and Scarfaces, and you know what I'm saying, all that type. So that's the reason why my sound is, you know what I'm saying, like converted that way.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of going to my next question, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, who were some of your early musical influences, both locally and bigger names?
Locally,
Yeah.
man, I would have to say, you know what I'm saying, the T Lady brother. Uh, that's who kind of like, you know, seeing him doing it and then just hearing the stories of, you know, because he used to run with Lethal and all them,
Mm-hmm.
Big Craig, Hog, and all them. They knew me since I was like a little jit. So knowing his background and history of how, you know, he had connections with a lot of people, like connections from Cali, things like that, because we got fam that's on his side of the family that's from Cali, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he just, you know, but I have to say him locally. You know, when I first got into it, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's crazy because how many artists that we got, but I pretty much fuck with them all. You know what I'm saying. I listen to them all. You know, but midstream, man, I have to say Tupac and E40.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to my music, how I kind of like play with words and shit like that, just say shit differently. And that came from my aunt. He told me that one time when I network. I had linked in with DJ Young Gay, who started that group Smash Gang. Had a phone call with him. He was like, "Man, don't always go with the first word that you, because when you listen to a lot of music, you can predict what they're gonna say because you know how music is supposed to, how they say it's supposed to be. But you your own artist, man. You can paint it however you want, as long as you in tune with the beat and things like that, you know. So, but yeah, I have to say Tupac with E40.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause them. Yeah, they stood out, especially in the town. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a lot. I mean, the West Coast in general, but I mean, everybody was on Pac and 40.
yeah, because like I said, it's the way E40 is, man. Just growing sprinkled it, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Just hearing that growing up, you know what I'm saying. That's like I said, when I approach music, you know what I'm saying. I write with the beat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists, you know, they spit faster, so they try to
Hmm.
cram a lot in. I had to learn how to tell a story but break it down. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know, you try to cram a lot of words in there. You know, I mean, everybody ain't got the lungs for that. You know, so let's
Yeah.
just, you know, just be right. You know, this is like running the motherfucking cross country when you're on that microphone with you spit. You gotta have the air for it. You know what I'm saying? So, but basically how I approach it, I just write with the beat and just playing with words and want to say something different that ain't nobody else gonna say. A lot of shit that I say, some be like, but that's what you want though. That's how it was. That's how it was when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? You listen to a lot of shit, you be like, what do you say? Then you gotta, you know,
Mm.
so you gotta tap back like, oh, okay, I get it now. It's just metaphors and just playing with words and things like that. Mm-hmm.
But that take me back, you know what I mean? Because you say, you had to go in there and learn it, you know what I mean? So pretty much like learning your craft, was that something you taught yourself? Did you have like mentors or you just spent time in the studio, you know what I mean? Just learning the ropes.
Man, I took it from all aspects, from mentors, learning the ropes, and staying in the studio. You know, basically, till the reason why I still make music still to this day, I have my own laboratory.
Hmm.
I know how to get in the mix. I know I'm not the best. I know I don't know the terminologies and things like that, but how I approach it, I use less plug. I use the right plugins that you need, make the sound right, get it there. I probably could be doing a lot of shit wrong, but you know when I hear mine versus others, it's right up there because you have so many outside producers, outside
Hmm.
of like experienced producers, if you get what I mean.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of sounds that's out there, but basically just staying in the studio and going back to my guy said these when we hooked up in 2010 and we recording on motherfucking Cool Edit, and he still got the box TV computer screen. You know what I'm saying? And we record on the microphone with the motherfucking head thing. Never forget that day when when he got the interface, microphone, the headphones, the whole nine up. That's when I started playing with it, and he was giving me tips on how to mix. And I basically just taught myself just listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Some people I can listen to a beat. I mean, I can listen to a song
Hmm.
and tune out what you're saying and just listen to the beat, and then reverse, tune out the beat and listening to what you're saying. Like I can hear the smallest sounds in some shit. Be like, God damn! Like one time I was recording in my room, and the wife, she knocked out, she sleep and shit, and you know, that corner moment of time, you know what I'm saying, when you snowing the shit, but I heard it. I picked it up. Anybody else wouldn't have heard it. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I'm meaning, like just catching the smallest things in the background and shit like that. So basically I just basically self-taught and then just being mentored, you know what I'm saying, especially by DJ Young Gaddy, man. I gotta give him his flowers, man, because he pretty much put me up on game. You know what I'm saying? And when we started Smash Game Studios, that was after I had left that label I was signed with, which once the owner, I was able to record and shit like that. I stayed right around the corner from him. He gave me a key to his house in case other artists in the town needed recording while he's not
Hmm.
there. I could just pull up and come record him. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. So basically just like I said, all three aspects. I utilize all three of them.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced, you know what I'm saying, when you first started doing music?
The bag, uh, man, it was tough. It was hard, and I'm glad I had the woman and the support system that I had. She could have been like, "What the fuck is you doing, man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to make music and no, but we all go through hard times. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know my story, then then you won't know I went through hard times because how I present myself, and that's just coming from how I was raised. But it was pretty much the bag. You know what I'm saying? Putting shit that wasn't supposed to be in first. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I was doing it backwards. But once I was able to get my bag, you know what I'm saying, right, to where I could do both, be a husband, a father, and do my music, you know what I'm saying, it came out a little bit better. I had but in them days when I was going through the mistakes, I learned from it. So that was pretty much my biggest, you know what I'm saying, was the bag, you know what I'm saying, trying to just spurt everything right. Should I take care of, am I gonna want to do this full time? Or do I want to be a family man and go get a 9 to 5 and take care of your kids?
Yeah. You remember that first moment or project that you made that made you say, "Yeah, I could do this"?
Had to be when I was with Smash Game Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Just able to be in the studio because we all had our own key. It was right there off of 41st and Memorial before that Quick Trip got built up. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you ever remember the little shopping center they had there. They
Yeah.
had the well known, I think it was Fade something, the barbershop. It was
Mm-hmm.
offering that. That was the main reason why cats used to go there. We found out they had units there when we linked up, bought out a building. We had our own key. Sometime I was leaving. Shit, the sunrise was beating me home. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting up in there, just trying to learn. And I really had to try to get back. Had to find my mixes there and things like that. Because I had took a little short hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that. Dibbling dabbling with other groups and things like, well, not pretty much not other groups, just linking up with other artists, trying to make a team. Just to put the state on. Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Having that support system because being an artist, I mean, if you don't have, they say you got to have a team, which is true if you really want to get, where you really want to get to. But as long as you got that drive, that motivation, and that passion, you can do this shit yourself, man. Because it's so, because you can be independent these days. You don't have to sign to a
Mm-hmm.
record label. It's not necessary that you have to. So it's just all about how you approach, how you want to take it. If you really want to be out here, then you're gonna have to have a team. But with me, the reason why I'm still making music when I was signed to that label, I can say I was pretty much bullshit and kind of let a lot of shit get to my head and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And like nigga, like when I really just sat down and looked at it, like so I was basically I wanted to show people that like I really got talent to do this, but I'm not really too concerned about the noise in my section right now. If it's low or loud, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, I'm gonna continue to do what I do because this is me. Some people I get, I used to send in music to shout out to DJ Big Rich, DJ Cole for live review. The first time I did it, I got a lot of love. And
Mm-hmm.
not knowing that was like one of my first songs when I just jumped back into it. Mix was horrible to me
Mm-hmm.
after going back listening to it, but I got love from people that just go back to the mixer here. I even got love for DJ Young Gator, but when I went back, like listen to it, like and where I'm at today, like, man, I could have made that sound a little bit more better, but I mean, it sound good. I mean, shit, I put the motherfucker up for a single, Mr. Grind Hard to Go Home. You know what I'm saying? So, which is my motto. I just felt like I felt myself short. Feel like I didn't really I was putting out craft, but I really wasn't just, once I started letting shit get to my head, kind of getting a big head, I'm signed with a label. I done performed at Canes and with Bone. I done met Little Easy E, Scarface, Nappy Roots, Coolio, Kid from Kid and Play, Off
Mm-hmm.
One. And I done ran into a lot of people. The cat that made the song uh, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Get on your floor, do your dance. Actually, that was my first show across the state line with DJ Young Gator. Yeah, opened up for him. Meeski was there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Key player. He was up there. I just shared the video the other day. You know what I'm saying? Just going through some old videos and shit on YouTube and forgot that motherfucker was on there. Like damn.
You think the Tulsa music scene now, you know what I'm saying? You think what? You think we have a chance, you know what I'm saying, going big?
We already there, man. It's just too much. Everybody want to be the top. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the hardest. Okay. But it's always somebody that has a tool in their box that's gonna stand out than you do. They maybe not don't have the team or the support system to push them. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So, but we already there, man. It ain't the point of making it big and things like that. Just artists, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about, like I said, don't worry about the motherfucking noise in your section right now. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, my own kids, they just be like, you know, turn that off. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing. Dad gonna keep doing me because once I'm up out of here, you'll be able to go stream my shit. I'll go
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, SoundCloud, or something like, damn, that was pops. You know what I'm saying? But over the time, because I had to realize, okay, maybe I am just talking too crazy. Let me go ahead and structure it up. You know what I'm saying? I made a song the other night where the son, he was like, oh, okay, I heard that. You know what I'm saying? I even got my baby boy. I got a track that's called These Boys Not Ready. That's the most streamed views I got on YouTube because of his friends. They
Yeah.
even asked me to do a remake to it, which I did on my last mixtape called Losboi The Comeback Kid.
Yeah.
I did a remake to it. But as far as back to your question, man, the town we already there, man. We got talent, man, like June, Mike. You got to put DJ Young Gate in there. You got Drake the Stacker. You got the Cuzzo Young 30. Man, who else? Man, it's a lot of artists that's out there, but because they not midstream or the lights is on them all the time, that don't mean that they not big. But
Mm-hmm.
like when I go back and be listening to some of my shit, I be like, snapping. But you know, sometimes people don't really want to hear that. Some people out there outside of the world, they tuned into that sound that's in today. They want to
Mm-hmm.
hear the same repetitive bullshit. I don't live that life. So why the fuck I'm gonna talk about it? Like when I first started doing music, every other word was a fucking cuss word. Or saying
Mm-hmm.
this, saying that. I mean, one time I was recording, the wifey was like, that didn't make no sense. And I'm looking at her, I'm good, fucked up. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a transition. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But it stuck with me. It resonated. And I remember one time I sat down and wrote a motherfucking three. It was a beat I had got off of YouTube. Johnny Dulio. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He used to put up a lot of beats where you get access to back in the day. I
Okay.
recorded a song called Promote the City, Promote the Land. It was a 3 verse, 16 bar hook, 16 bar verse with three
Mm-hmm.
hooks. Not one cuss word.
Yeah.
That was the day when I kind of just like, you ain't always gotta say bitch, hoe, or fuck this, fuck that, nigga this, nigga that. You know, so
How would you describe your sound to somebody who would hear it for the first time?
West Coast, telling the story, my way. Uh, Most people don't know this, but some of the times in most of my songs, I'm really talking to my damn self. I mean, you gotta get your shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the music that y'all probably heard, thinking I'm going at somebody else, I'm really going at my motherfucking self. I'm trying to motivate myself to be better. You know, some areas that I can, straighten up, but I mean, I'm comfortable, but I know I can be doing doing a lot better, but I'm not complaining though, because it could be way worse
Mm-hmm. That part.
versus what other people got. But listening to my music and sound, you really just have to just sit and listen to what I say. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, and it took me a long time to learn it, because when I first started, I'm like, oh, this shit hard. They gonna like this. Put it out, you ain't get no response. But I had to learn. Everybody ain't gonna like your music. Like when you listen to other music and you think other people gonna like it, and you play it, and you're like, oh no, I ain't fucking with it. And that's okay. That's how the world works. Everybody is not gonna like everything. You know what I'm saying? I got my own little core fan base that fucks with me. You know what I'm saying? I got a cat on Facebook, whatever I share music wise, he always sharing. I never met this guy in a day in my life in person. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember what I shared to what attracted him to my music. But like even the last shit that I was just sharing a couple of days ago, the old videos, he was resharing it, just resharing it, so and that kind of like just give me the motivation, like man, just keep doing what you're doing. Because sometimes I'll be like, man, you need to just go ahead and sit down, keep going to work like you going to work. I'm a 9 to 5 guy, you know what I'm saying? I accept that. I done dibbled and dabbled in the streets and all that, trying to sell and all that. But my motherfucking, I'm too, my paranoia is too like, man, I can't, like some cats, you walk into a hood store, they be like, hey, I got that on deck. I'm not one of them type. I tried that once before, and that ain't the way. So I'm 9 to 5 guy, and I accept that. But music is how I've been. How people write in journals, I use the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a lot of music I ain't even released. That ain't even, you might have heard it on my story or whatever. But as far as like just putting it out, nah, I really didn't. But as far as my sound, it'll be West Coast, but just telling my story.
Over the years, like how do you feel like your sound or your approach to music has changed?
Over the years, it
Yeah.
got better. Just listening to different artists. Uh, I never forget when I ran across Larry June. Larry June, he kind of like listening to his music, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
helped me like shape how you tell shit. Like if you just tell your story. You ain't got to be aggressive with it. You could be calm. You could be laid back, and just tell your point of view. No matter who gonna like it or who gonna dislike it, it's
Mm-hmm.
still you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's obvious a reason why it's an avenue that I'm still able to make music. I feel like I can hold my weight with anyone. I done made tracks with uh, Young 30,
Mm-hmm.
Young Villain. I mean, one time, how he got on the track, he had came up to the studio, and I guess Gator was playing a track that we had it was just a hook. And I remember one of the team members was trying to do it, but his voice really wasn't there. I was like, hold on, let me get up in there and do it. I went in there and did it. It was just simple. Go, go, go. But it was how I did it. And I guess Gator was playing it one day and he had the door open to the studio and feeling heard it. He was like, what's this? Like, that's Losboi. He's like, oh, let me get a verse on that. Soldier Flow. Come to find out, like, I'm connected to him through fam. You know what I'm saying? On my
Yeah.
dad, my stepdad side of the family. You know what I'm saying? That's how I met him. I picked him back up with DJ Young Gator and things like that. I did a track with Dre the Stacker, but at that time I was on some shit, basically on the run from a little bullshit case that was chunked up and shit. So I really didn't get to release. They even had a Thrill on there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of mad I didn't really get to drop that because it was a hot track. But I said, man, I can hold my own weight with any artist, man. I'm not intimidated, man. It can be. It don't
I
matter
mean,
who.
I'm
It
saying
don't matter
Lord
who.
They came back with a video for that Do You. You know what I mean?
Exactly. When I seen that, I was like, man.
Dirty Boys then came back with videos for they old out, you know what I'm saying? And so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it ain't too late to put it out there.
I got to see A Ball and MJG live. I had went to my very first Langston homecoming. And I gotta say, man, we as a people we did good. But
Yeah.
you know, my my claustrophobic was so bad because I was down there when that shit happened in Taft. When I get around a lot of niggas, it's nothing personal. It's like who gonna be out of this crowd that's just gonna do something stupid to fuck it up for everybody. But I
Mm-hmm.
was down there, man. That shit was live, man. It was real nice. My niece, she go to school down there. My daughter, she's supposed to be 10 when she graduated this year, class of 2016. Shout out to Shella Bell,
Yeah.
aka Shells. But yeah, yeah, it's a lot of them on the comeback, man. When I be hearing people tell me I'm outdated, what the fuck you mean I'm outdated? What does that even mean? I even had a cat. I was doing a live review. It was my second time around. Cat, he was like, "It sounded like something that a cat will barbecue. Well, a cat will crip walk to at a barbecue." Well, what the fuck is y'all talking about? One cat even said, "I give it a 4 because his ego is bigger than the song." That's when DJ Big Rich had to step in. Like, look, man, Los, he consistent. He'll send in anything, whether it's good, bad, or not. And I'm in the comments like, look, man, I'm sitting on like 150 songs that I done recorded or did. I'm
Yeah.
just testing the waters, man. I'm not trying to be the big man. I'm not trying to get no limelight. You know what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of Rich the Factor. And this bucks over fame, man. Fuck that fame shit. I don't want all that. When I
Mm-hmm.
get my little check for my quarterly for my BMI and shit like that, or from my distro kid, which I ain't even withdrew yet. Hey, it might be small, but it's something.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little residual back from what I was doing, and that's the reason it goes back to well, like I said, I wasn't doing shit right back when I was with that label.
But that's part of the process, though. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna start slow.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because even with this channel, bro, like I've become a YouTube partner, and I got a little finances coming in every month. You know what I'm saying? But I won't be able to touch it until it hit a certain amount, and then even still, it's still a waiting game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it
that
ain't.
slow money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it's something.
But see, you got a 9 to 5 to keep you comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's extra.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I rap a lot of the 9 to 5, talking about the wife and the kids and this and that, because that's what I do every day. Some people they don't really want to hear. They want to hear all this other shit. Some of the shit I might tune into because the beat hard and you might put them words together and things like that. But it's a lot of music out there that just like it's repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear the same shit on the same song. Okay, how many times you gonna tell me you sell dope?
Mm-hmm.
I,
You drill
okay,
it.
I
You
mean we
shake
get
it
it.
behind.
Now it's a different way you can say it, but when you making it the main focus of
Mm-hmm.
your of your song, like okay, we know you got customers, we know you're doing your thing. But then again, I mean that's I can't judge the next. That's what they want to rap about. I can't tell you what to rap about.
Yeah, and yeah. When people listen to your music, you know what I'm saying? What do you want them to feel or take away from you when they hear your music?
Just to hear my story, show that I'm trying to grow as a man. Not perfect, uh, but I'm doing my best. You know what I'm saying? I done been down bad before. I try to make songs where people can relate to, relatable music. Uh, Even if you're having a bad day, turn on some Losboi. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear something that's calm. But
Mm-hmm.
I know it's other artists that they can go to before they go to Mr. Losboi. They want to hear that. But as long as I just keep doing what I'm doing, it'll get out there. But when you turn on my music, just you'll hear like I got a track on. I did a mixtape. My first mixtape I had dropped when I got back into doing the music. It's called Father of a Champion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Smile Now, Cry Later. I mean, cry now, smile later.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to cry before you smile. And I was playing it one day. And the wife came out of the room. She was like, "Yeah, like that." Just basically telling my story, saying what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, slept in the Cadillac. You know what I'm saying, in the parking lot, so I can be on time to work. Because
Yeah,
I blew money at the casino, my money, and the money I got from another source that was busting me off her check every payday. You know what I'm saying? Went to the casino and blew that shit. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep in the parking lot. Motherfuckers that know me, I used to work at the Easy Pond off of Pond and Lewis before they tore that bitch down.
mm-hmm.
Slept in the parking lot, and I never forget. Some woke me up like an hour, like 30 minutes to an hour before the managers pulled up, because I was in the back seat. I jumped up to the front seat. I'm like, I don't want them to think I was up here sleeping. And literally, like 10 minutes while I fell back asleep, heard a knock at the window, like, Los, we about to open up the door. Like shit like that, man. I'm just humble, man. I done been through a lot, man. So,
Real stories. So how important is storytelling to you, you know what I'm saying, in your music? Like, do you feel like you focus more on real life experiences, the vibe, or is it a little bit of both?
a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? When you're an artist, you not really trying to follow the trend, but just like stay within it. You know, make them club based songs and stripper based songs. But here lately, I just been trying to like just tell my story. Storytelling is what interacts you with that artist, like make you feel it, because you never know what that person going through. Because
Mm-hmm.
they might never even heard of you before, and fuck around and run across you on Spotify or whatever they listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this? And there's been a lot of artists that's like that. Like, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
Bub Knight. He from Texas. Listen to Spotify one day on some, it was on random play mode, and he came across. Don't say you love me if you really don't. And that made me go to his page, like go follow him, all that shit. Start listening, went listen to the whole album and everything like that. Like when I listen to Rich the Factor, you know what I'm saying? He telling his story, but he also giving game. He
Mm-hmm.
giving game at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a lot of people don't like how the way you say it, or who you are, or oh, his name ain't big enough. You never know what a person is trying to say, because you
Mm-hmm.
never know. You might resonate with that. You might feel it like, oh, okay, man, he going through the same thing I'm going through.
Go ahead, what you were saying.
Uh,
Resonating on you again.
Basically, just resonate on when you hear my music. I'm just telling my story, and you might be able to relate to it. I feel like I got some music where you could just put on and you can ride down the highway to, going out of town or something like that. Like, let me hear a new artist. Put me on, and you know what I'm saying? It might be a couple songs where you might listen to, you might not gonna like, but I'm pretty sure if you just sit down and just listen to what I gotta say, you'd be like, okay, you know. And I always say I ain't trying to be the best. I don't care if I'm top 10, top 100. I really don't give a fuck. But I got a story to tell. I know how to turn on that microphone and present it in a way, but I also know how to sit down and chop this shit up and make it sound good.
I like your honesty because a lot of people get on her. Oh, I'm the hardest, and whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like the humbleness. You know what
I
I'm saying?
can't fuck this shit. I can't say that. I mean, like I said, I got a core fan base that fuck with me, that rock with me. You know what I'm saying? But man, nah, man. It's not about being the hardest, because it's somebody that can spit it better than me or tell a story better than me. It just made me want to go in there and tell my story a little bit more better. Like, for instance, like, I really didn't see the point of punching in.
Mm-hmm.
Now some cats, they say 2, 3 words. All right, run me back. I respect the artists that say like 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, then need to be punched in because of the win factor.
Mm-hmm.
You're a smoker, drinker, and all that shit. Like, that's gonna play in effect. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of my songs I've been doing here lately, they kind of like punching in. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to go all the way through, listen back to it, like, okay, this is where I fucked up at. But once I started doing like 4, 5 bars, or maybe I say maybe 3 to 4 bars, and then stopping it, listen back to it, and then punch it in, it comes out a little bit more better. You don't hear me trying to catch my wind. Or you don't hear where I'm trying to sound like I'm. You can tell I'm reading it. There's a lot of artists you can tell you reading the lyrics. I didn't know that at first until someone told me that, and I sat back and I listened to the song. Like, damn, can't tell I'm reading. It's real tricky, man. If you really listen to music, you'll know like, man, this artist, you can be a regular fan of music, be like, yeah, he reading music. But then again, I mean, hey, as long as he presented it the right way, why the fuck does it matter if he's reading it or not? He's
Right.
reading it anyway.
That's how you became a
Technically,
fan.
he is reading it. That's how he's reciting it. But I notice a lot of artists these days they like to freestyle their shit. A lot of my shit I do that, but I've been getting back into, you know what I'm saying, writing, putting the words down, able to see it before it come through my breath, straight through my mind and out my lips. So
Let's talk about, you know what I'm saying, some of your latest music. Can you tell us about some of the tracks you recently dropped?
man, I've been in the lab cooking. I just dropped one called Takeover Freestyle. I just dropped one called I got had came up with a new quote at work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats they be like, "Hey, what's up, Los?" I'm like, "Man, hey, I'm good. Just another day to scratch a dollar."
Yeah.
Turned that into a song. My recently mixtape that I just dropped was called Losboi Thekid, which was an old cover from when I first started. The shit I paid for it. So I
It
mean,
sure
I
is.
didn't do nothing with it then. So I'm doing something with it. I'm putting it out there now. So I got about like I think it's like 3 mixtapes out right now, and like over 10 singles that I got out that's resonating right now. And then I got one that's dropping on my G Day on Tuesday. It's called The Shutdown. Basically, just telling my story of going over there to Joplin and different avenues that I done made before and shit like that, pulling up in other cities and shutting it down. You might think I didn't shut it down. To me, I did.
So, like, what inspired the mixtapes? Or just, I mean, some of the songs that's on the albums? What's the inspiration behind the different songs?
What I was going through at that moment.
Yeah.
When I first got my studio back, I was always in the studio every weekend. You know what I'm saying? Getting good, getting high, you know what I'm saying? You know, doing what I do. I ain't gonna say too much for people that watch it and listen. They know the extra activity that I do. But which it kind of motivate me when I'm in the studio. But I had to learn how to just sit back, let a month go by, then get in the studio. Now you got something to tell. So, but yeah, you got Never Understood. You got your FAH, Fuck a Hook, which that's off the latest mixtape that I just dropped. That Mr. Brown Heart to Go On, that's still one of my favorites. Uh, I'm Just Trying to Live. I remember I performed that at DJ Mike had extended out to me to do a new Sundays. I just happen to have PTO because I run Sundays on my at my job. So it's kind of hard for me to get off on Sundays like that. But I happen to have PTO days the time he asked me, so I put it in and took on the opportunity. I remember I performed it there and got a good response, and it's just basically just storytelling. Uh, and I got a lot like I don't, and that's basically explaining I don't care what nobody say. I'm still as long as I can still turn on this microphone and do what I do. Yeah, I heard the whispers on the sideline. Yeah, that nigga 40. He's still going in on the microphone. I don't give a fuck. I just worked a 9 to 5, but I came home to vent on the microphone.
That
You
part.
know, and I ain't even dropped that yet. This just something that I just when I'm in that mood and want to listen to something when I'm having a bad day, go and play it. Got a track called Position that I ain't even dropped yet. Uh, I got a lot of shit that I'm just sitting on that a lot of people didn't really hear about. I mean, really heard before, but man, you got I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on that Mr. Losboi mixtape. I had dropped that before I dropped the Losboi to Come Back Kids mixtape. I got my partner Young YHTH on there and my guy Zoch. And that track right there, man, is yeah. Yeah, if I had to say one on one that resonate with me, it would be that one. It's basically saying I remember everything, but I forgive, but I don't forget. And I
Mm-hmm.
damn sure ain't gonna hold no grudge.
All right, so walk us through the creative process, you know what I'm saying? The writing, recording, and producing, and the collabs, you know what I'm saying? How do you bring a song to life?
When it's me just in the studio, just run across a beat, just listening to beats, and then I listen to it. At first, I used to jump in it real quick, but then I learned how to just like keep listening to it and just recite shit in my head, how I want to approach it. But it's all based off the beat that I'm feeling right, feeling at that moment, feeling at that time. A lot of people might be like, that beat is outdated, whatever the fuck that means. But to me, I can put my story on that beat and tell it a certain way. When I'm collabing, it's the same process. We listening and I just vibe off how they going off. If they want a hook, I'm like, all right, I give you a hook. If I just need to write a verse, I'm like, you got the hook? I'm like, yeah, we got the hook. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time when I link up with, as I do with music with down here, we pretty much just go in because we know we taking beats off of YouTube. So it ain't no point in trying to put a whole structured song together. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be a song that you can put on something that you can release out. You know what I'm saying? So at the time we know, but when we making a song that's gonna be a song like I remember,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll put a hook together and shit like that. But majority of the time, you know what I'm saying, I see where they need me at. If they just need me to write a hook, I'm in a verse. They need me to write the verse in a hook. I get to knock the hook out. We'll get it recorded, and then we put that bitch on loop, and then we'll go on to writing the verse.
Yeah, make it happen. Is there do you remember like one of your favorite tracks on your recent work? You know what I'm saying? And why does it stand out to you?
Recent track. That would be the recent mixtape I had just dropped. I have to say it would be the FAH. I shot a
Yeah.
video for it down here in Muskogee, uh, in front of the wifey's people's barbershop. Yeah, I ain't never been to bar. If y'all ever come down to Muskogee, make sure y'all go visit G Style Barbershop. Family owned, man. All that Kane, Shotgun, Clint, Dollar, all of them up in there. You know what I'm saying? So they're a real good barbershop to go to. Family vibes, all that. Yeah, I shot a video in front of there, and it just basically resonated with me because I kind of got some shit off my chest and just said it without caring who gonna give a fuck what I say.
Now, I want to go into some of your visuals, but before I do that, if you could put together a Tulsa Dream Team album, who's on there?
Man, you have to go with Stephen. I fuck with him, man, because he telling his story. He don't give a fuck what nobody think. And then he's putting on for the town. He's doing for the youth. I heard what he's doing up there in McLean, got the studio and all that things like that. So you have to put Steph up there. Got to put Stacker, Greater Stacker. Got to put Young 30.
Mm-hmm.
Got to put DJ Young Gator. Uh, you want to go to the old heads, you got to put Hog in there.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, even Big Crit. Uh, want to go into the new age that's right now. You know, so you got to put Mike on there. You know, so I fuck with his music. Got to put June on there too. And then I'm gonna end it with me.
Yeah, it's a lot of talent in the town, man.
Hey, it's a lot out there. So if a lot of your artists I forget, man, it's no disrespect. Oh, hold on. My cat, Unknown Caprice. You
Yeah,
gotta put him on there because and I'm telling you, man, he doing this thing. Bro. He got a fan base that when we signed to the label that we were signed to,
mm-hmm.
did nobody think that he'll be the one that's still out here doing things since 2015. That's how long it's been 10 years since I've been with that label. That man is still out here doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? He just did a event called Hoodstock Summer,
Mm-hmm.
first edition. He normally do Hoodstock for the winter, raising field stockings for the homeless. Well, for the summer he was raising water bottles for the homeless. Went drop it off to the day center. So I gotta put him on there. Gotta put him on there, and then I end it with me.
So like I said, I want to talk about, your visuals, and I'm saying, and your branding and your videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, your music videos have a strong visual presence, you know what I mean? So, like, how do you come up with the concepts for your videos?
Man, just basically picking a spot and just going in. I don't really have where gotta want out 100 niggas with me and all that shit like that. No disrespect, but when you have a lot of shit going on in your video, people not really listening. They
Mm-hmm.
looking to see what the fuck going on in your video. So that's the reason why a lot of my videos is either I'm solo or if the video is with a feature. If he bring his people, he bring his people. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, when you watch my visuals, it's pretty much just me and just where I want to shoot it at and things like that. So I ain't got too many visuals out. My latest one I just did was, you know what I'm saying, the FAH down here. That was about a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of things that I need to start putting visuals to, but most of the time, I mean, I just like making music, man. So when I get
Okay.
the time to make a visual, I will, man. Should I work a lot? If it ain't sports, wife, or work, I mean, shit, my time is tied up.
With the FOH thing, you know what I mean? Like, were you involved in producing it, the video, or did you just leave it to, like, the team?
Now, shit, right now I really don't have a team. It's just me. I do my own recording, do my own mix, master. I got a software that I use for my mastering. I do a pre-master on uh, software that I use, and then I run it through that computerized, you know what I'm saying, mastering software. Uh, so basically, it's just me right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Are there any challenges that you faced outside of music, and how do you stay shaped? Or, how have they shaped you?
yeah, I done faced a lot of things. Like I said, the last thing that I was on, that bullshit case I was on the run for. You know what I'm saying? I had a 50 ball on my head and happened to have a 50 ball on my significant other head. I mean, a 20 ball on her head because of some shit. The decision that I made,
Hmm.
it was right at that moment. The bitch she should have been putting her hands on somebody. And I'm in somebody else's house. I don't know what the fuck you got, so don't protect me. But I learned from it. Went, sat down, did my little time. Case got dismissed because it was some bullshit. State picked it up 3 months later. The shit happened on March the 18th. They picked it up in fucking July. I'm outside, mind you. I'm outside kicking it.
Hmm.
Not knowing I got a motherfucking warrant on my head until one night I had pulled up to a bar, Badass Renee's. I was doing a show that Friday coming up next with my partner Unknown Caprice. So me and him
Hmm.
was going out to show, you know what I'm saying, the owner that, we support you others outside of just shows. And the accuser walked in the building. I'm thinking shit all sweet and good. I'm staying out the way. Next thing you know, type flight security come rushing up in there. I guess he has some security on contract. They come up in there, tactical gear on and shit. Talking about, hey, you can come outside. I'm like, man, I ain't got no motherfucking warrants. Like, I ain't even no felon. That
Yeah.
nigga's a felon. Lo and behold, this motherfucker already had my name pulled up on demand court records. All I seen was Carlos David Davis. I'm like, all right, I'm gone because I'm thinking they calling the laws. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And that's when I hit the wifey and told her, and she called me back. She was like, I know you fucking lying. They talking about we got warrants on my head and shit like that. And I'm like, literally out here on the run. Pillow to post, hotel from hotel, but kids still stayed in school. If you didn't know my story, you wouldn't even know I was out here doing it. And I'm not trying to glorify like I'm just
Yeah.
I shit. I couldn't go turn myself in. You know what I'm saying? My kids were still young then. But I had that conversation with him. I told him, like, hey, one day it's gonna come to a point where me and mama, we're gonna have to go sit down. You know what I'm saying? And when it happened right after school was out, summertime. So they was able to go with the in-laws and stay with them. You know what I'm saying? I only did like a month and a week. You know, the wifey, she did like 2. She got a bar reduction, able to go back to work. When I got out, went back to my old job, and that's when I came down here and moved to Muskogee and never looked back. You know what I'm saying? It took a minute. It took a minute for us, you know, but then I landed a gig throwing bricks, you know what I'm saying? Good paying job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First job I ever had on point system. So I didn't know. I was one of them type of niggas. If I know I'm gonna call, if I know I'm calling in with a lie, I ain't even gonna call in at all. But
Yeah,
you
because
know
I'm
what I'm
pointing
saying?
at something different.
They had a point system, so you had to call and say something. But you know now, you know what I'm saying? I work for Dr. Pepper Coca-Cola, supervisor with the shit. Within 2 years, I was a supervisor. You know what I'm saying? And facing a lot of challenges up there too, because they
Yeah.
don't understand me. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of prejudged, like, oh yeah, he this, he that. They just waiting on me to fuck up. Every little thing I do, they might try to put a bright light on it. But that right there, that situation right there, really opened up my eyes. Like even when I consulted with a lawyer, she was like, "How old are you?" Because this happened when I was like 34.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you 34 and it's your first felony case, say, yeah. I'm like, that's why I'm not understanding. But at that time, I was just consulting with her. I didn't have her on page. And when I consult
Mm-hmm.
with her, I knew to go in and use a public defender and shit like that because I knew the shit was going to get thrown out. I just knew I had to just go sit down. But you know how niggas is, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying people in general. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got it to where you can just go sit down, you're gonna make every avenue. You're gonna do what you have to do to stay out here.
What we used to say, make them do their job.
Yeah, basically. Because I knew it was some trumped up shit. It was some
Yeah.
bullshit. And when I found out they picked up the case 3 months later, I'm like, yeah, they looked at the fact I'm young, I'm black, I ain't never been through their system. See, that's that bullshit. When they say the system is blind, that's what the fuck they mean. And why
Mm-hmm.
you coming for me? I ain't gave you no trouble, but they wanted money from me.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a lot of shit going in that car, phone, all that shit.
How had growing up in Tulsa influenced how you became as a person as an artist?
Learning how to choose your battles, to pick the situation that you want to be in. Because I done been around a lot of shit to where I could have just crashed out. But for what though? You know, back, I mean, when I was younger, high school, I mean, middle school, saying used to run through my hallways and shit. Well, I think what helped me, the T lady sent me to Whitney,
Mm-hmm.
which is out east.
Mm-hmm.
And little did she know, my 6th grade year, that was the first year they ever had that many inner city kids from the north side going to Whitney. So, you know, white folks, they didn't know what they was in for.
You
Cause
know,
it was basically a north side Gilcrease. It was just diverse. That was it. Cause I was preparing myself to go to Gilcrease. That's why I thought I was going. But then the T lady came to me, cause she understood what we was going through. She was like, I'm gonna send you out here with for a better chance. And, woo, woo, woo. And then I went to Nathan Hale. You already know what Nathan Hale was like.
mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically just
That's what I was about to say. Cause when they kicked me out of McLean, I had to go to hell.
mhm.
Mom thought it was gonna be a better school, but we know what was going on in hell.
I mean, one time it was an incident that had happened with a well-known, you know what I'm saying, hood member. He
Yeah.
stayed in the neighborhood, right around the block. He was fucking with the bitch. Well, I ain't gonna say bitch. He was fucking with the chick next door. And for some reason, got to him, I had called her a bitch or whatever. Woo, woo, woo. Now, me admitting this, most people like, oh, he a pussy, this and this and that. I already knew his story. I knew me. I'm not scared. I'll fight you, but that's what we're gonna do. But if I beat on you, you gonna turn it into something else.
Mm-hmm.
I went and called the T lady, you know what I'm saying, letting her know what was going on. And he outside throwing my bicycle and shit. But when my uncle and my step pops pulled up, they made a back entrance. My pops had made stepdad had made an entrance for the back way because we used to fix on cars and shit to where we could just pull them through the parking lot of the hood store to come into the backyard. They came in that way. I guess all of a sudden he took all running. I'll never forget. Uncle told me, said, nephew, let it burn. Let it burn. I'm like, I ain't not that shit always stuck with me. Like, don't be playing with people out here, man, because you never know what the fuck they going through.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I still to this day, I don't live by the motherfucker, but I'm gonna take that bitch wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? I had an incident down here when Skokie one time just picked up the boys from practice. I'm going to go give me something to drink. Motherfucker, he walked out. I think he was on that meth or whatever. Out there with no shirt on and shit. Look, I know he fucking with some young kids in the store. He said something to me. So I asked my boys, like, what he say? And they like, I don't know. So I get out and they come out. As I'm getting out my truck, they coming out. It was like, did he say something to you? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he fuck around and get shot today. He sings. Once they hear that, they start getting rah-rah with his ass. Man, that motherfucker put out a motherfucking machete. That's all I seen. I grabbed my shit. He went up to the door. That reminds you, I could have caught a free body.
Mm-hmm.
But in the state of the law, his back turned. So how he a threat to you?
Mm-hmm.
That shit resonated in my head. He walked past me. I'm still standing in my door. Once he seen I had my shit in my hand, he started talking about, y'all here to shoot me. Shoot me right here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But I think what made him even paranoid, I didn't say shit. I just stood there. Only thing I said, he was like, I'm from Red Mob. I said, bro, I don't give a fuck where you from. That was the only thing I said. He never approached me. He never attacked me. So put my shit back in, I left. So shit like that, you just never know the moment that you might be in. But that came from living in North Tulsa, man. Going through the shit that I'm going through in the backyard. Playing
I sure keep that motherfucker on me.
somebody get left at the intersection and the niggas run through the backyard. Shit like that. Like I haven't been through shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like really
All right, yeah. So you was just talking about people, you know what I'm saying, running to your backyard, you know what I mean, and what you saw growing up in North Tulsa, you know what I mean, and the experience with
yeah, man,
situation
like
with old boy.
going to the hole, the stories about going to the hole and shit.
I
I
remember that.
never been before, but I knew not to go there. You know what
I
I'm
was there
saying?
every weekend.
I gotta say this, man. If you ain't never been to the ranch in North Tulsa, like you going past the Dream Center, all that, I guess
Mm-hmm.
it's like the back way of Osage and shit. You ain't never been there, man. You ain't from North Tulsa, man. You don't know what we went through. There was something back in the day when I was a teenager to keep us out of shit. They had that. I don't know what happened. At one point they just, I guess, funding or something. I guess they was government funded, and the shit stopped. And they had basketball, horse riding, swimming, just mentors and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know nothing about the ranch, that's what really kind of like taught me how to move out here. Just listening to the mentors and shit. You ain't got to do exactly what they say or what they preach to you, but you can always listen and learn. That's the reason why you got two ears and one mouth. A lot of people, they just listen to respond.
Mm-hmm. What motivates you to keep going?
Man, my kids, man, they keep me on my toes. You know what I'm saying? They older now. You know what I'm saying? My third baby, she just turned 19th on the 14th. You know what I'm saying? Got a daughter that's about to she's a senior this year. Yeah, my son, they just had, like I said, they just had the scrimmage today for Muskogee High. Baby boy, he's on the freshman team. Uh, Son, he just moved up on the depth chart for the varsity. He gonna get a lot of run for the JV this year. He stuck with it, even though he didn't he didn't do what I did. I ain't getting no burn like that, so I'm gonna go do something else. He stuck with the shit,
Mm-hmm.
working out, getting up. Actually, he went to work today before he had his scrimmage. Hell, before he wasn't even 16, 2 months before he went out and got a job. That's the
That's right.
type of shit that I live for, man. Motivation is my kids and my number one main supporter, the wifey, man. She stuck through a nigga with a lot of bullshit, man. I took her through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Not like physically anything like that, just being dumb out here
Yeah.
playing outside the threshold and shit like that. But she saw something in the nigga that I didn't see at that time, and she stuck with me. And I'm so glad because who knows, I could be 6 under locked up right now.
That's real. Yeah. So you know, what I mean, you got to be thankful for your support system, and you know, them children do make you. You know what I'm saying? Wise up. Uh, what message? You know what I'm saying for the young people in the town, even Muskogee, since you're there now. You know what I'm saying? The little youngsters that want to do music. You know what I'm saying, what message do you have for the youngsters?
Just keep doing what you're doing. If you want to get signed, you got to learn the avenues and what you need to have in order to get signed. I say stay independent, man. Just go listen to go look at Rich the Factory Store, man. Man, this nigga, he's what approaching what? He over 50. He like
Mm-hmm.
54. He just dropped a new tape, and he just dropped one 2 months ago, independently. It's so easy for you to stay independent if you have the avenue. If
Zero.
you're serious with it. Now, if you just out here trying to get views, want to be seen, because you want to be the most gangster and shit like that, there's only two ways that's this shit going in. You gonna cut your timeline short, or your ass gonna be locked up in this system. But if you out here really trying to do this shit because you really feel like you got a craft, just stay with it. Everything don't shit don't happen overnight. It don't. Some people do. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Utilize your social media. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I'm like, God damn, I didn't get to share shit. I don't share a lot of my shit every day because I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? But if you're young and you feel like this is the avenue that you want to take, sit down, learn the steps and the process, what you need in order
Mm-hmm.
to make it, especially if this is what you really want to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you work and then you doing music, shit, keep doing it until it pay off. You know what I'm saying? Even if it don't pay off, keep putting your shit out there because you never know who's listening to your shit. When I go look at my Spotify artist account, getting the reviews of the plays and shit, I'm getting played overseas. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
nobody overseas, so you never know who run across your music. They might have turned it off once they started listening, but it had to resonate as a full play in order for it to get recorded on the
Mm-hmm.
report. So that mean they were sitting there listening. So you just never know who's going to listen to you. And don't get discouraged by your haters, your doubters. They mean you doing something. They hating on you for free. They can show you love for free.
Mm-hmm.
See the difference? Well,
Yep.
really, it ain't no difference. You know what I'm saying? So just keep doing you, man, striving for the best. And all this trying to be the toughest and the hardest, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Anybody could be touched like a light switch, man. Anybody. That's one rule I can live by. Shit, even though I ride with my shit every day. If I'm slipping, I'm slipping. You hear a
Mm-hmm.
lot of artists, man, I got this, I got that. Ain't gonna never catch me slipping. Then what happened?
They had to knock presidents down.
They get caught slipping. So and move accordingly, man. And fuck what people say. Fuck what these people out here got to say about you, because they gonna talk about you whether you doing good or bad. Music wise, family wise, work wise, what you got wise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, fuck all that, man. Older I get, man, fuck keeping up with the Jones. I don't give a fuck when people know I'm taking trips and shit like that. I don't give a fuck. Okay, keep doing you. Because a lot of you people is going in debt to paint a picture on social media to say I'm out of town.
No, for real though.
Like, so to the youth, man, just choose your battles wisely and understand that anybody can be touched at any moment if you living like that. But if you really out here trying to do this shit, get you a team around you and go for it. I say stay independent. Push your shit to where you can be independent because there's a lot of independent artists out here that's making money. I mean, the streaming is fucking it up to where you can't do CDs no more. Put them on flash drive. Ain't nobody even thought about that yet. Put your shit on flash drives. That's how you can hustle your music. Because I'm guarantee you, everybody that drive a car today, they got a USB unit. And guess what? If you out there flipping them flash drives with your music on there, they can plug that shit right in. They ain't got to worry about it skipping or getting scratched up or shit like that. So just stay focused, man. Just stay up and stay out the way and stay focused.
Now, when you look back, you know what I'm saying, at your career or even just life in general, what are some mistakes that you learned, you know what I'm saying, that you would want to tell the youngsters or try to help others to avoid? We can say your children. I'm sure you tell your boys, you know what I mean, because you don't want them going down the same path. So, you know what I mean, what are
Oh,
the things
shit,
you
I'm proud of my boys. They ain't nowhere near where I was at their
yeah,
age. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my son just turned 16, 17, and I had my own apartment. I was the only one at Nathan Hale High School my senior year, living in my own apartment. It's not a flex or nothing like that. It was just an opportunity that was made to me because, I didn't want to. It wasn't that I didn't want to follow by the rules at the tea lady house, but sometimes you want to be out past time when my tea lady, she was one of the ones like if this door locked and I'm in the bed, nobody open up that door for you, and I knew that. I understood that. I knew it.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll say one mistake that I did make, and one regret that I do have, is being a better father to my firstborn. Because after I lost his mother, being accused for shit that they don't even know what the fuck went on. They out here telling stories and they wasn't even there that night. They don't even know. They don't know the mental shit that I fucking go through every day with that shit. And it kind of affect my relationship with my firstborn. But I can't say this though. He ain't in the streets. He ain't locked up. He in the Navy right now. San Diego, California.
Yeah.
He didn't let that. He didn't let that paint his picture.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom and my daddy wasn't here, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run to the streets where the love is. There ain't no fucking love in those streets, man. Get off this shit. Ain't no love in these streets. But if I have to say, yeah, that's one of my biggest mistakes I made. I failed as a father to him, even though it don't even look like it. I failed as not being there when I should have been there because of the situation. That's the only thing. That's the only regret that I can say that I wish I could have made a little bit more better. But at that time, I was young, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Calling 911, asking what to do. They telling you to do CPR. I don't know CPR. I know the logistics of it, but I don't know the right way. But
Yeah.
little did I know she was already gone. So you think how that people really don't ask me that. Like, how's that really fucking with you? Know? Some people think, oh, you old, you done got over this shit now. You go through it night like that.
That's something that you probably can't get. That's like me losing my mom. You know what I'm saying? I lost my pops, and it affected me, but losing my mom kind of affected me more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a feeling that I don't think nobody can get over. You know what I'm saying? Regardless how many years, how long, it's certain stuff you can't get over. Certain losses.
It's not especially that, but yeah, that'll be my only regret and mistake. Everything else, how I look at it was done for a purpose because of where I'm at today.
Indeed.
It was a learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? The manager at the job, he always tell me, learn and live from your mistakes and never repeat it again. So that would be the only regret that I have, a mistake in life, is not just stepping up to the plate and being there for her more, even though it didn't deteriorate the man that he is today. It might have affected our relationship, but he's out here doing way better than what I was doing at 24.
Yeah. So I got two more questions before we wrap this thing up. You know what I'm saying? My first question is, when people hear or people think of Mr. Losboi, you know what I mean, in the future, how do you want to be remembered?
I was me. I wasn't trying to portray to be somebody. Wasn't trying to be the loudest one in the room. I wasn't. I might dress, step out, trying to stand out. I get that from the T lady. She always told me, no matter what you get, you always look your best when you step out in this world. Coordinate.
Yeah.
Like John Witherspoon would say, you gotta coordinate. You know what I'm saying? But just me and myself, man. I wasn't trying to be nothing extra. Wasn't trying to be the toughest. Wasn't trying to be the hardest. I was Mr. Losboi, aka Carlos David Davis Sr.
That part. All right. So my last question, brother, is how can the fans connect with you on your music? How can they hear your sound or hear your music? I mean,
Uh,
tap in.
Losboi, all my social outlets, Losboi the Comeback Kid. Not trying to be cocky, but if you just Google Losboi, Losboi, either together or separated, you'll run across my music somehow. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Spotify, YouTube Music, all your major platforms. I haven't updated my SoundCloud here lately because I ain't really been on there, but I need to get on there and update some music. I'm on Reverb. I got my YouTube page, but all my links to my Instagram, Facebook, and Snap and all that is Losboi the Comeback Kid. Losboi Thekid.